fine music getting us into the episode this time. We've kind of stepped up our game here from just talking to now we have a music intro and we are what people would call big time now, I guess. So you're welcome, and we are fired up. Uh, we're glad that you're here. This is pad level. I'm Jake McKenzie. You got Griffin, and you got Dalton, the two whippersnappers, my little brothers who are here, going to give us some expertise, some great analysis on what's going on in the college football world right now, from one end to the other. Uh, Griff, what's up, dog?
Not much, just another week of everything being inconsistent except for Auburn. But hey,
Yikes!
got some opportunity for improvement this weekend. Great weekend last weekend. I didn't get to watch a ton because we went to Auburn for the first part of the day, so did get to
Some
watch a
might call
lot.
that adversity.
Yeah, and also wasn't able to watch it on my phone because YouTube TV likes to do the things that they do. So
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
that
We'll touch on
adversity was
that.
harder to overcome. But
Yeah, that was tough. D,
Yep.
what's up?
What's going on? Another great weekend. I did get to watch a good bit. Uh, Texas Vanderbilt was great. Georgia Florida was great.
yep.
Um, but there were a lot of good games. I didn't get to watch the Utah Cincinnati game, but it seems like I didn't miss much there. Um, but overall, great weekend, and I'm ready to get into the CFP rankings a little bit.
Mm. Yeah, it was a great weekend. I actually got to watch a good amount, very small amount of adversity. Not much adversity going on last weekend, which is always nice because it seems like there are more weekends with adversity than there are without it. And so I was very grateful for that, to have a small amount of adversity. I want to talk about this real quick. I was on the Squattober train, right, in October because I was trying to get a little weightlifting in, get a little work done in the weight room, right? Squattober ended on October 31st. I told you about my struggles at the end. SI joints
Mm-hmm.
basically are gone, it seems.
Tragedy.
Don't worry, I'm getting some PT done. But what I'm doing now, dumbbell strength, pen and paper,
Hmm.
strength app. Dumbbell strength, high intensity, small break periods. I'm trying to get back athletic, fast, and explosive. That's all I'm saying. And it feels good. The first day I did it, I was really kind of stuck in wind, right? I mean, I have not worked out with that kind of intensity in a while. So trying to get back into the up tempo, little athletic type workouts because I kind of feel like a bum sometimes. So I'm gonna get back into that. What kind of training are the boys over the whippersnaps doing? Y'all doing any kind of training right now? What's going on in your training lives?
Not much
I'm
as of late.
Hmm.
I'm more into training the mind right now. Try to get
Oh,
smarter day in, day out.
your your mental training.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's
Physical
good.
training follows every now and again, but overall more mental than physical.
Okay. Well, at least you're honest, boys. At least you're honest. Um. Well, good.
That's all we
Well,
are on this pod on pad level. All you can do
we're
is
not going to
ask
tell
us.
you a lie. We're not going to tell
Yeah.
you a lie. It's going to be straight facts, homie. I know Randy Moss said straight cash, homie. We're straight facts, homie, on this show. Okay.
Hmm.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yesterday, the first CFP ranking show of 2025, starring the ESPN crew: Reese Davis, Booger McFarland, Joey Galloway, and Greg McElroy. And then obviously, what's the guy's name? Rhodes. Mac, is that his name? Mac Rhodes is the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
is the guy
The
who's the committee head.
chair.
Also, Heather Dinich, who she gets it going on. She is she gets up on the screen there, kind of towards the end, and she's all over it, son. She knows what she's
Hmm.
doing. It's They all do. I love watching the show because obviously it's a little debate. Sometimes it gets a little fiery. Didn't get fiery this time as the first one, and there wasn't a whole lot to get fiery about, I don't think. Um, what one of I don't care who starts. What was the Dalton? You start, okay?
Yeah, I'll let you
Well,
go, Dan.
What was your? Oh, sorry. You know what? Just go ahead. You just start. I was gonna ask something. Just roll.
I want to lay out the committee selection principles. So rank 1 to 4 in order. Allegedly, this is what they go off of. So first, strength of schedule is at the top. Then you got head to head, and then you've got then comparative outcomes versus common opponents, which margin of victory is not taken into account with that.
Which is crazy.
Does that make any sense? No.
I don't know
Not
how
really.
you can do it if you
Then
don't.
then you're just going based off eye test against them, and that's subjective.
Well, how do you
What are
go
we doing?
comparative outcomes, but you don't look at the outcome of the game other than the win and the loss? That makes no sense to me.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, I guess it might say that, but there's no way that they do that and don't take that into account, right?
No, it
That's,
can't.
I
yeah,
mean, how do you not? Even if that's
Yeah,
what it says in the rules or whatever they
right,
call it.
yeah.
yeah. And then the fourth one is unavailability of key players or coaches. I'm assuming it means during games throughout the season, or if they get into the back end and they're trying to make a playoff push. Florida State.
Oh, yes, you stole the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, if your
And
quarterback
then
gets
that's
hurt,
going to
you're out.
play a role in their selection. So those are the
Yeah.
four principles that they go by when they make their selections. Didn't seem like they did it this time, but it's the first one. We'll let it slide for a little bit.
Well, the big buzz term, and I can't forget, was record strength. Record strength. They kept saying record strength,
Yeah,
and so is and which I get it, but you just named all four, didn't say it. Is record strength?
and maybe
Is that
strength of
something that they're?
schedule entails strength of schedule throughout the season and the strength of their record. I don't really know.
Oh, maybe it's all kind of
You're
included
asking
in the.
what the record. I think the strength of record is it is different than strength of schedule.
It is,
No,
but
no, I know that. I know that. I know
I
that.
don't know
They
if
just kept
they're
saying record strength and how big of a deal
Oh,
it
oh,
was.
oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
don't just name the four main things. It's what, but the record strength might be within that
Mm-hmm.
strength of schedule, kind of all encompassed.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
yeah.
But they were talking about that a lot.
So the first thing when I watched it live
Hmm.
and when I saw Miami at number 18, I couldn't believe it because you can't tell me that Miami is the 18th best team in the country right now.
All right.
I think they're better than that. I don't think they're
Okay.
18. I think they're higher than that.
Now let me ask you this: if they're higher, where do you put them, and who do you put below
At least Notre Dame below them,
Yes. Yep.
them? And tell me, both of you, tell me why that is.
head to
Why would
head.
you put? Okay. Which I get because that's the argument people are going to say
Yeah.
100% every time, and I get it. Now, I believe it was maybe Josh Pate I heard say this. This has been a few weeks ago. Head to head is important. It's got to matter. It's got to matter. But when you get 4, 5, 6 games in afterwards, then I think the head to head may not be as big of a deal. It still matters, but now because they played week 1, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now you've got 7 more games or maybe 8.
Yeah.
And now I think it truly looks like Notre Dame's the better team right now. Now,
Yeah.
that's what you're saying. The eye test is just subjective. You can just say, well, they look better than them. They look better than them. So I get how that could be subjective and could piss people off and just not be very clear.
Yeah.
But I actually agree with having Notre Dame above Miami. Maybe not as high above as they have them, but I do agree with it, I
Right.
think.
If Notre Dame's going to be above of Miami, it needs to be like 1 or 2 spots. I think 8 spots
Mm-hmm.
is insane. because Notre Dame's strength of schedule right now, 23rd, Miami's is 29th. It's not like Miami's playing
Yeah.
everybody in the Mountain West, and now if they've lost 2 games there, then yeah. But they're not separated by that much strength of schedule wise. Even strength of record. I think Notre Dame's 15th and Miami's 18th.
And you know
Well,
what probably did not help Miami at all is that Miami just lost on Saturday.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
recency bias is in full effect in these
And,
rankings.
that, and that's
So
gonna be there. That's gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you this question, Jake, because I understand your thought process as to why Notre Dame should be ahead of Miami, and I know that Virginia and Louisville are set apart by 1 spot.
Yeah.
Virginia beat Louisville by
Yep.
3 in overtime, what, a
Hmm.
month ago? So they've both played, I think,
Yeah.
3 games so far. Who has looked better? Louisville has the win over Miami at Miami. Virginia has been playing with fire the past 3 games. So, and I'm like I said, I'm just throwing something else out there. So, based on the criteria that they use for the Notre Dame and Miami, Louisville should be in front of Virginia, I think, because Louisville has played better the last, 3 games since the Virginia loss. However, they still put Virginia ahead of Louisville, which I think they should. And but it's kind of it's kind of like the inconsistency. If you're going to do one, you got to do it the same both ways.
You've got a valid point, but I think the reason that it is that way is because it wasn't as far as long ago, and
Yeah,
both teams have just kept winning. So it's
this
so
yeah.
it's and both of them won this past weekend. Virginia looked the best they've looked in about 3 weeks this past weekend. Is not very good,
Hmm.
but still looked better. Louisville didn't look phenomenal versus Virginia Tech, but won by a couple scores, scored in the second half. But I totally get what you're saying. I totally
Yeah,
understand it.
and
I,
I'm
I
not
see where
saying
you kind of look at it.
yeah, and I'm not saying that either is wrong. I'm just saying that there's got to be. I just feel like there's got to be more consistency. I think that the 8 spots in between is I can't get my head around it. Um, that's my main issue with it is the 8 spots between the two
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. I can
Sure,
understand if it
I,
was 1 or 2, but 8
Yeah.
is a lot.
I understand. I mean,
But then even
part,
you go, go ahead.
I was just gonna say part of me thinks that Notre Dame's probably is a little bit too high.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think they maybe should be a few spots lower.
Yeah.
I
Now,
agree. They
now,
should.
I'm not saying you throw Texas up in front of them because I still don't
Yeah.
trust Texas. Yeah, they look great in the first 3 quarters against Vanderbilt,
Yeah.
but I still don't trust Texas a whole lot.
Well, I mean, if your first criteria is strength of schedule, Texas they have 11. They're ranked 11th in strength of schedule right now. Notre Dame's 23rd. Texas even has one more win. Like,
Hmm.
based off
Hmm.
your own criteria, Texas should be in front of Notre Dame. Oklahoma should be in front of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Even Vandy should be in front of Notre Dame. But I get it. I mean, they're going off recent. Like Notre Dame hasn't lost since their second game,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
I get that. But just trying to throw some stuff out there with the way it's looking. Texas hadn't looked fantastic 2 weeks before this past weekend. I mean, it looked great for 3 quarters and then almost gave it up in the fourth. But um, I think there's just a lot of different ways you can go about it. It's hard to put even the top 15. It's hard to make it to where everybody is in the exact spot they should be in.
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
And the good thing about it is, we're sitting here saying, Notre Dame, it's crazy that they have them up this high, possibly, but if they keep winning, a 10-2 Notre Dame is probably going to get in, and they probably
Oh, no
should,
doubt.
rattling off 10 straight wins after starting the season 0-2. Granted, their best win's probably going to be what, USC, maybe Pitt.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
Depends
Pitt
on what
later
Pitt
on they
does.
got to beat.
so
Which Pitt's got
The
a
thing about it
chance to
is all
screw
this
us
stuff
all
is
up.
yeah, all this stuff is gonna for the most part work itself out. I think.
Oh yeah, it will. And another big part that they were talking about was the highest ACC team is number 14.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So with that being said, you've got you'll have if it stays that way, you'll have which it won't. But if it stays that way, you've got two teams who are not in the top 12 who are going to take spots away from those from 11
Hmm.
and 12 just
Do you
because
think
they're
ACC's
conference
getting two
champs,
in? Or you talking?
Ah, you know
What
what?
do you
You
mean?
know how,
Oh, because the group of five. Sorry, yeah, you're right.
yes, I'm just saying for ACC to get two teams in,
Hmm.
they've got to have two of those top three teams win out.
yeah.
Yeah.
They've
They
got to
really
win out
need
and have one loss each.
Hmm.
Virginia and Louisville to both win out, or Georgia Tech.
Right.
Yeah.
Two of the
Two of
three
those
need to
three.
win out if they
Yeah,
want to get two.
yeah.
And if they don't, then they'll just get the champion in and probably won't get another. And now here's the next question for you: is if that happens, because the Big 12, I mean, it's right now BYU and Texas Tech play this weekend. If BYU wins that game, I mean, Big 12 may only get one team in there
Hmm.
Yeah.
because you've got Cincinnati who has got one loss or two losses total, but one in the
Yeah.
conference. You'll have Texas Tech with two losses then. Utah will
Yeah.
have two losses.
Yeah. Does what if BYU goes undefeated, loses the Big 12 championship?
Oh, well, well now that
That's
changes
their
it.
best
Yeah.
case.
That
If
that
if
that's.
that were to happen, that'd be their best case to get two in.
Oh my gosh! If BYU goes undefeated and loses the Big 12 championship, they have to be in. They couldn't leave out a
Oh
12 and
no, they're
one
not going to
team.
leave them in. But
Well,
like I'm just saying,
that's what they did with SMU last year. Talking about
Yeah.
yes,
kept SMU in after losing
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
championship game.
And then with yeah, I mean, if BYU loses this week though, and loses the conference championship, assuming they make it, they win every other game. Do you think they still get in?
At 11-2.
Say they lose to Texas Tech by I don't know 3 this week. Go to the Big 12 championship. I'm assuming would play
Probably Texas
Texas
Tech
Tech
again.
again, and they lose again
I think
by
they're
a
in.
low margin.
I think they should be in,
Yeah,
but
I think
I agree.
a lot of it depends on what is happening around them.
I
hmm
agree. I
You
think the
know, I
ACC
mean,
has the best chance of getting only one team in
oh, easily,
right now.
because there's
Would
no necessarily easy road for any of those teams right now to win out.
Yeah, which 2 weeks
well,
ago I would have said the Big 12 has the best chance of only getting one team in.
however that BYU Texas Tech game goes, will really say who has the best who is probably only getting one in. Because if BYU wins,
Right.
that conference probably only getting one in, unless BYU loses the conference championship. ACC, I agree with you. As it stands right now, the ACC looks like they're probably only getting one. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
And I think, Dalton, I think you may have said it a second ago. Pitt holds a lot of this in their hands, brother.
yeah,
yeah, they do. They've got
Pitt
some
they could be in control of so much.
derailing to do if they want to. Yeah,
If they win
if they
out,
win out, I mean,
they
they're making a
they
push for
play.
the ACC championship, possibly,
they will play if
possibly.
they win out. They play in the SEC championship. They'll be undefeated in the conference.
I mean,
Oh,
because
that's right.
they
Remember
have
they
Notre
lost to
Dame.
Oh
West
no, sorry,
Virginia,
they lost to Louisville. Louisville,
but
sorry, they'll be one
they
loss.
Yeah.
lost to West Virginia
Yeah, yeah. So
also. So
they'll
they'd
be
be
one
one loss.
loss
So
in the
they would be
ACC,
um, I don't know. It'd be
and that would be beating
yeah.
Georgia Tech, which would give them two losses in the ACC. So Georgia Tech would be out. Now,
So they would be out.
If Virginia and Louisville win out, and Pitt wins out, that's three one-loss ACC teams playing. Looking to get in the conference championship.
then if
Then
that
you can see if we
happens,
get head to head.
then you've got a chance to get two in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have two teams who win out, you've got a chance to get two in there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now here's a
Yeah.
question. Here's another question. If the ACC, well, I think I already know the answer. ACC, they only get one in. Say they beat each other up, and the ACC champ's the only person who gets in the playoff. Big 12 maybe gets two, whatever. You're going to have a lot of SEC teams in there. You may have five SEC teams in there.
Yeah, because
Well,
that'll be three, one ACC, two Big 12, and a group of five. That'd be 8 spots left for for the Big Ten and
And
AC
and and
SEC.
you're
but
gonna
see,
get
you
Ohio
got
State,
Notre
Indiana.
Dame. Notre
Hmm.
Dame. If
Oh
you know,
Oh yeah,
crap!
Notre Dame. So
if they
7.
went out.
So
But now
it'll
Brunswick
probably
and
be four
yeah,
and
Iowa.
three.
yeah. Yeah, I mean you're looking at at least four SEC teams and possibly five. But I think four is
I think 4 because I
the
think
better bet.
it depends on Oregon what they do the rest of the season. I
Well,
And
think
well,
Notre
Oregon.
well.
Dame,
Think.
Notre
I
Dame,
think
if they lose another game, they're gone. So say they lose
yeah,
to
yeah,
Pitt,
yeah, yeah. But
SEC's
yeah,
probably
that's
getting
true.
five.
Yeah.
Right. You in the Big Ten, Oregon plays USC and Iowa still,
And Washington.
And Washington.
and Washington.
Hmm.
Right. So it's Oregon could play themselves out of it.
Hmm.
Iowa could play themselves into it. USC could play themselves into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
USC's at 19, Iowa's at 20. Both of those teams could play themselves into it if they win out. They're the third team in, and
Yeah.
Oregon can go kick rocks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, um, and I mean, honestly,
Well,
possibly
Oregon,
Michigan could.
Iowa, and USC can't win out because they play each other. So one of
Well,
them will
one
end
of
up
I'm
having a
saying
third
one of them.
loss. Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying
yeah,
one
yeah.
of them can. One of them can
Yeah,
win out and just tell Oregon to kick rocks. They'll be the third team in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, imagine that. That just doesn't even. It just doesn't even sound right. Just the way it's been the last few years. Have USC or Iowa in there and Oregon not?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be a pretty big story.
Heard this question on the
But
podcast
it's very possible.
today, and I want to ask both of y'all just and that could be a long answer because I do want to get to the top three in just a second,
Hmm.
real quick. But if say take Big 12 for example, if you were asked, would you rather have two teams in that both get beat in the first round, or one team in that makes it to the, let's say, semifinals?
Hmm.
Which one would you rather have?
Somebody has a conference.
Yeah, if you're the commissioner of the conference, which one would you rather have?
Um, if I'm the commissioner,
Yes,
I
like to
would
make your
say, yeah. I mean, I would say just get one team in that goes deep into it.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And that may not be that hard of a question, but when it was asked, it makes you think about it for a second. You know,
Yeah. I would say
Oh
the
yeah,
same thing because
yeah,
if you get two in and they both get bounced in the first round, then next year and the year after they're gonna look at, even if you had the same situation, they're probably gonna say, well, they had, both of their teams got kicked out last year. However, if you get one that goes to semifinals, they're like, hey, maybe we need to try to put another Big 12 team in here. They play them
exactly.
close, in the conference championship. Let's try to get both of them in there, shake
right,
things up a little bit. So I would think one to the semis.
Yep.
right. Yeah, don't disagree. All right, Dalton, what's your next question?
All right. So the top talking about Notre Dame, Miami, 10-18, head to head, blah blah blah, whatever. That's tough to talk about. That's tough to figure out who's going to go where. Okay. The top three, pretty easy. All right. Would y'all have kept the top three the same?
Um, I mean, I don't have many issues with it just because Ohio State is just continuing to take care of business. I would probably, if I had to put somebody else at number one, I would probably say Indiana, just the way that they have thoroughly throttled every team they played. I know they haven't played the toughest schedule in the world, but they've been just dismantling people from limb for the most part. So I'd
Hmm.
probably swap Indiana, Ohio State. I could see A&M being up there because I know their schedule has been much tougher than Ohio State and Indiana, but I don't have much issue with it. That stuff's all going to work itself out. I mean, I feel like all of them are going to win out, especially Indiana and Ohio State. Um, and
They
A&M,
should.
they went out. They
Ohio
stay where
State
they
now. I
are.
mean, you never know with them playing at Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Michigan.
They've got a tough one. But let me say this: if you're going off strength of schedule as your top criteria,
Yeah.
A&M should be number one without a doubt.
Hmm.
Now, I can get arguments for any three of them at the top, but it seems like with Ohio State, we're just saying, you know what? They won the Natty last year. We're going to keep them at one until they lose.
Hmm.
I get it for the AP poll; those guys brainless.
And girls.
But for the CFP, if we've got a criteria that we're going on, then it's got to go on that criteria. If you have two teams that are same record in different conferences, one strength schedule is 15, one's 33. Sorry, but the one that's 15 should be in front. Based on criteria number one, you have to look no further than that. That's it.
Yeah,
But
I don't. I mean,
that's neither here nor there.
yeah, I mean, it is going to work itself out 100%. All this is going to work itself out in the end. All
Hmm.
of it will. But I think Joey Galloway was the one who said it on the show. He said, he said the same thing you're saying. Texas A&M should be number one, probably then
Yeah.
Indiana, then probably Ohio State.
Hmm.
He said his problem with it was that it seemed like it was just going off the eye test, and it's so subjective,
Yeah.
and we don't know what the
Exactly
heck
right.
they're thinking, and they could just do
Exactly
eye
right.
tests for anything and say, well, actually they look better. They throw them in there with all this analytics and data that we're supposed to be using, and then you get to the number one team, you say eye test, boom, you're
Yeah.
in. You're number one.
Yeah. Before the
So I thought that's a very interesting point because you know, what if Texas A&M does go just beat the piss out of everybody they play, and their schedule's going to be tougher than Indiana and Ohio State's both?
which
Are
it is right now.
are they going to move Texas A&M up? Probably. Honestly, dude, if all three of these teams just went out, it's going to stay the exact same.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Probably.
I
yeah,
agree.
and then once you get to the conference championship, it'll be Ohio State and Indiana. Whoever wins that will go to
We'll go
one,
to one.
and then Texas A&M will go to
Right.
two probably.
Yep.
I would
That's
think it
it.
depends on how Texas A&M how thoroughly they beat these teams, down the stretch and into the SEC championship.
You
Honestly,
you
I
Um,
know
think if
you
they
know
win
what?
out and win the SEC championship, they will. I think they'll go to one because
I
they'll have
think
to play Bama or
they're
maybe
if they're
Georgia or Ole
13 and
Miss.
0 at the SEC, it's hard to say that they would get the nod over Ohio State or Indiana being 13 and 0.
They should. I'm not going to say they will,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
should.
Well, that's the thing. They probably should, but are they going to do it? Are they going to put
Hmm.
my? This is
I don't
part of
think
me. What
so.
I think is, say all three of them win out. Texas A&M wins the SEC, whether it's Bama, Georgia, whoever they play. Ohio State and Indiana play. I think even if Indiana beats Ohio State, they just flip flop them one and two. I think they keep Texas three. They just flip flop those two. That's what I think they do.
Hmm.
I
You
think they would do
you
that.
think
Now,
they would
I think they'll do it too.
I
wait? So
do.
you
I think whoever not one and three and Texas A&M's at two. I think they take Ohio State and Indiana and one and two, and Texas A&M stays at three. That's what I think they would
even
do.
if A&M wins out and wins the SEC?
Well, that's the only way they'll be up there anyway. I think if all three of them win out, and you've got Indiana, Ohio State, whichever one wins is going to be one. The loser is going to be two. That's what I think.
I
Now
think
that
I
would be
think
something.
I think if A&M wins out and wins the SEC, they're at number 2. And then the loser of the Big Ten goes to 3 or 4 or whatever it is.
I would like to
Now,
think
I
that
would not be
depends on
surprised
the.
if they did that. I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. If it were me ranking it, that's how I would do it. Honestly probably put
Yeah,
A&M
yeah,
at
for
1.
sure.
But yeah, I could definitely see
Yeah, I
the
mean,
committee
me
doing
too.
that.
But unfortunately, we don't have that vote. We don't have that spot in the on the committee where we've
True.
given it to athletic directors who
Who have a
are
financial
all
interest
knowing
in these
allegedly.
teams. That's
Hmm.
another thing that I don't like is how these committees are made up of athletic directors from these schools. Is like you have you have a vested interest in trying to get a team from your conference or your team itself into the playoff, whether you think that I mean, maybe they do deserve it, but sometimes they don't really. Um,
Hmm.
so having a committee full of people that have their own, and I know you can say they put all their biases away, but subconsciously that's really hard to do. I think that they
Yeah.
need to figure out a different way. I think they need to get a committee full of honestly people like Josh Pate and those types of people that literally watch and talk about this stuff all the time and don't have a vested interest in these certain teams making it. Because athletic directors
Yeah. I mean,
they don't have as much time to watch all these teams. They're busy doing all this other stuff for their
hmm
respective schools
Hiring
as they should
coaches,
be.
hiring
Yeah,
coaches.
firing coaches, yeah, whatever. So I think there needs to be a different committee of people that strictly do this for a living.
Well, you heard what Mike Leach said about committees.
I don't remember what he said.
Well, he just says it's just such a great idea. We'll just get this committee to go figure everything out, and it just all will go away.
Hmm.
And he's pretty right about it because, you know, it's the playoff is good. The playoff is great. I love it. But I mean, you just got a committee in there that's going to have subjective thoughts, and they're going to do things
Hmm.
subjectively a lot of times. Even when you put criteria in front of them, it's just going to happen, you know?
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see it. Like, I mean, it will all work itself out. 100% it will. But it's fun to debate it while it's going on, you know?
Yeah.
That's
And
how a lot of these dudes make their money.
we need to
Yeah.
have 2 rounds of home games.
I
I
agree with
think
that.
I think let's just do home games the whole time until the freaking semis and the natty. I guess that would be 2 rounds, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it. If you get a first round bye, you should be rewarded along with
Yeah.
the bye as for a home field advantage game. I don't know. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be great. I know a lot of
Being
people want
Jordan,
to have more
being
home playoff games.
being Jordan Hare next year in quarterfinals.
Is that like a
That'd be
neutral
awesome,
site?
dude.
That'd be a
Hey,
neutral site game for
hey,
somebody?
hey, I'll be in attendance, boys. I'll be there. Snow on the ground in Auburn, Alabama, in Jordan
Whew,
Hare.
boots on the ground, baby.
Anything else on the playoff, fellas? That was pretty solid. That's pretty good.
I don't
One
have any.
one comment that Booger McFarland had before they announced the rankings, Reese Davis was asking them what they were all excited for, and Booger said he was like, I'm excited to see how the committee picks it, and immediately I was like, uh, not good, not good.
You're just
It
saying
just
that's
seemed
just
it
Come on,
just seemed
man.
like he was. It seemed like he was saying how subjectively each individual person on the committee was gonna rank these people or rank these teams, and I'm like, we're just going to eye test, recency bias, and last year a little bit.
hmm
Well, I mean, I
I,
mean,
hopefully
yeah,
it shapes out better.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I think,
honestly, I hope there's a lot of parity going on, a lot of shuffling going on,
Yeah, there will
but I
be.
hope at the end of the year it's a little more cut and dry for these guys.
yeah, because they can't handle it. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't disagree. All right, the next thing I got to get into, and I got a bone to pick. So, in society these days, it may not be as much anymore, but it used to be cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In college football, we have firing culture. Firing culture. Let me explain. Every fan of whether it is a true blue blood or a blue blood, if you know what I'm saying, If you lose a game or two, oh man, this dude's terrible. We got to get somebody new. Okay. Happened at Penn State. And don't think it should happen there. There's obviously many more places where that happens. Um, Here's one that I'm going to bring up that and I've heard Kirk Herbstreit talk about it this week, but I had heard rumblings about some things already or on social media. The Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh yeah.
So they lost their third game of the year to Oklahoma, a good team. They lost by 6. They fought hard and almost came back or had a chance. They lost to Georgia by 7, right? Or 3, one of the two.
It was
Yeah,
close.
3.
It might have been 3, actually.
Yeah, and lost to Alabama by 14 or 17. But that game, if you change a couple plays, it's down to the wire. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that's easy to say, but still. So you're losing to 3 ranked teams in the CFP. All teams are in the top 12. Okay, your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, went crazy in spring ball and left to go to UCLA because of his people telling him he got to go get more money. You bring in a quarterback after spring ball, all he's got is a summer to get ready,
Mm-hmm.
right? You come out and you play very well and you lose those few games by close. Yeah, they're not perfect, but going into the year, we thought Tennessee might win 7, might win 8, and they've already got 6, I think, 6 wins. And so then obviously they're the rumblings, okay? I mean, some things you take into account when it doesn't matter because people just talk to talk. It's just people who just don't understand usually.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is yesterday, I'm on X. I don't get on X very often, but for some reason I got a notification I got on X yesterday. And I see the Kirk Herbstreit video. It's like the second time I've seen it talking about, you know, because they called the Oklahoma Tennessee game, he and Chris Fowler did, and he could hear some fans as they were leaving talking about how Heupel may not be the guy, and he was basically putting them in their place, saying y'all are idiots, right? So I agree with that. Heupel is a great coach, and they need to keep him around because he's done what Tennessee hasn't done in
In a
years, maybe
long time.
ever in his first 3 or 4 years, however long he's been there. And then the very next tweet or X, whatever you call him now, because it's called X, is it was another thing about Tennessee. It was some podcast that they do over in Knoxville, and they had on a former Tennessee quarterback on the show. I'm not going to go throw names out there. This former Tennessee quarterback is now the head football coach at Tuscola High School here in Haywood County. I recruited here. I've met him. I've talked to him once, twice maybe. Uh, he goes on there and he says, he starts it off like this. I'm not one to go firing coaches. That's the first part that they quoted. I mean, they didn't quote the whole podcast, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm not one to fire coaches. That's not what I do. But Heupel is good enough to win 9 to 10 games a year, 11 at the max or whatever. And that's a good year. He said, I think he's the James Franklin of Tennessee. And I read that. The way he started it pissed me off. 'Cause this cat played at Tennessee. He was there for Phil Fulmer's last year, I think. They fired Philip Fulmer. He left whatever one of his years. He was there. He was the quarterback. His senior year was when Mount Cody blocked the 2 field goals. I was at the
Mm-hmm.
game. Me and Dad were at the game. He was the quarterback. They went like 8-4, 7-5, lost the ball game that year, or something like that. Maybe 9-3 they went. Anyway,
Sounds good.
and he is a high school head coach and he played college ball. He understands, and he's going to go on this podcast and say this on a Tennessee podcast, a Tennessee volunteer podcast in Knoxville, and say, I'm not about firing coaches. That's not what I do. But I think he's our James Franklin. Here's what I got. I wish people would understand how many programs would kill for James Franklin. They would love to have James Franklin. Instead, they're going 4-7, 3-9, or 4-8, 1-11, and the audacity that some people, some fans or whoever have. He said like you're going to win 9 to 10 games a year, 11 max, as if that's not very good. Listen, it's a different ball game now. It's a different ball game. You're not going to have two teams who go 12-0, 13-0, and meet in the national championship in the BCS national championship. Are you freaking kidding me? It's just not going to
BS
happen
National
anymore.
Championship.
Yeah, yeah. This is the playoff. You get 12 teams in. If you're winning 9, 10 games a year, guess what? You're in the conversation every year.
Yeah.
What the freak else do you want? Who do you want? What do you want? And with the portal and with the NIL, the parity so much now, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna be 12-0 every year.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, guess what? Uh, Nameless guy. I'm not gonna throw his name out there. How about let's go get the coach you had before Heupel? I don't even know who the freak it was. That's
God,
that's
who
how
was that?
memorable he
Oh,
was.
Pruitt. Was that
I
Pruitt?
don't know.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, he's now an analyst at Jackson State, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, that fired me up. I got so angry because, I mean, if it's a fan, that's one thing who doesn't get it. This guy understands. He played in it, played there, and he's a high school head coach now. And let me tell you something. Tuscola's not very good either. I'm pretty sure
Maybe Tuscola's
that.
head coach, he ain't good for but about 3 or 4 game wins a season. Maybe he should
Listen,
be.
I'm not going to
I'm
stoop
just
down to that
joking.
level. No, I know,
I'm just
Trust me,
messing.
and I've had the thoughts. I'm not gonna go there. 5, 6 wins a year, high school football. Now they made the playoffs this year. 5, 6 wins a year. And listen, I don't want to bash the guy. I just do not agree with what he said at all. I hate it because what that starts, a former player comes in and says, "Hey, this guy's our blank, James Franklin in this instance." And now fans are going to go bonkers. Oh, we got to get Heupel out. This former player said this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have got to be kidding me. Stop it.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. The
Please.
thing that I
Please.
cannot stand about that kind of wording, that he's a James Franklin, and this is not just for Heupel. This is for several
Everybody.
teams, and they say like that. They can win 9 or 10, 11 a year, but they just can't. And I'm like, this is not the BCS. 9, 10, 11. 10, 11, you're in the playoffs. In the SEC, you win 10
How
games.
many
You are in the
games?
playoffs.
How many games did Ohio State win in regular season last year? Huh?
10.
Thank you. They
And
won
then they
10
hoisted the
games.
trophy at the end of the year. Hey, and
And they
Tennessee
got
won
hot.
10 last year. Played the playoffs.
I got trounced by Ohio State, but you got to make it. You have to. You
Yeah,
have
that's
to
the
get
thing.
there.
Is like,
You got to get in.
so you mean that our coach is regularly giving us chances to win a national championship? Get him out.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We
When
don't want
I
him out.
hear comments, which I had not heard about the Tennessee thing. I had no clue. That's insane. When I hear people talk like that, I hope, and this is obviously hypothetical, I do not want the coach to get fired. Like, I love Josh Heupel. Boy, I wish we had him in Auburn. But I wish that you could live out a future where they do fire him, and then you start going 5-6, 4-7, or 4-8, 5-7. You're trying to make bowl game. You're trying to make a freaking December 19th bowl game. and hope that you
In
win it. Hope you
Birmingham.
don't get embarrassed.
In
Yeah,
Birmingham.
yeah. You ever been to Birmingham? It's fine.
Hey son,
It's fine.
watch your words now.
It's fine.
No,
Griff,
I say come to Fairhope.
you're in Irondale. You're in
That's true.
Irondale, dude.
That's
Don't
true.
act like you're in Birmingham. Come on.
Yeah,
But
and
I wish that those kinds of people could live it out and then go back in time where the coach hadn't got fired and say, man, I'm glad we're playing on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or whatever
That's
for
exactly
a
right.
national
Yeah.
championship.
and like I've said it before, I think when James Franklin got fired, in the words of the legend Michael Scott, sometimes the grass is not always greener. Sometimes it's just a 40 dirt patch.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like-
And if you want to
and-
go and fire Josh Heupel, you'll find out what a 40 dirt patch is. That's the same reason that Auburn got rid of Gus Malzahn. He was winning 8, 9 games a year. Occasionally would win 10, and it just wasn't it wasn't good enough. And I get it. When you do that for so long, you've got to be able to get to the next step. However, after Heupel's been there for 3, 4 years, and
Yeah.
Tennessee before that, nothing.
Yeah.
They were a punching
Couldn't beat
bag.
Alabama or Georgia. Couldn't beat any of them.
Nope.
And yeah, they're
Nope,
punching
nope.
bag up until then. You make the playoffs last year, and the same thing with James Franklin. You win 2 playoff games last year, and you almost make it to the national championship, and then all of a sudden stuff goes wrong, and you got to get rid of the coach, and they're going to find out that it's not going to be better. It's not going to be better.
Nope.
I had another thought, but I
Now-
can't remember what it was.
Now, the thing with Gus Malzahn winning those games, that was a different era. It was a 14 playoff.
Yeah,
You've got to win probably 11 games, at least 10, probably 11 games to get in there. If Malzahn is at Auburn this year or last 2 years, and he wins 2 games, ticket punched. We'll see you in the playoffs.
yeah.
You better keep him around.
Yeah, but I'm saying you win 10 games, you're in the playoffs.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
in
Oh, yeah.
2019,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2018, not the case. But the thing
No.
with people with the not nameless guy saying he's the James Franklin of Tennessee, like you said, James Franklin is the best hire for most teams they're looking for a coach right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to fire Josh Heupel and get who? Lane Kiffin? Lane Kiffin ain't going.
That's what I'm saying.
Nick
And-
Saban?
and
Nick Saban ain't
you know what? You know what? I've got this and one more thing about this coaches stuff, and we'll move on. You hear all these hot lists, right? For these openings. They're all the same.
Yeah.
Everyone I've heard,
Yeah.
it's the same list of dudes. Okay? And now, first of all, why is it the same group of dudes? Do these guys have some intel? These guys want to leave? Are they looking for something different? No, they just say these guys are good coaches. That's great. That's awesome. And they're right, because the guys on the list are killing it right now. You hear Eli Drinkowitz, you hear Clark Lee, you hear Lane Kiffin, you hear John Summerall, Alex Golesh, you hear all these head coaches.
Dillingham,
Dillingham.
Rick Key,
All you hear
Jeff
about is
Brom.
you hear about all the guys who are doing very well right now. Hey, let me tell you something. If this is just me personally, and I've never been shown the amount of money these guys would get paid, so I can't put myself in those shoes. But if I'm at a place where I am, we're winning a lot, we got a chance to go to the playoff at least year in, year out. And I don't have pressure where if I lose a game or two, the administration is on top of me saying, "Hey, you better pick it up or you're out." I might want to stay where I am.
Yeah.
You can become a legend in a place by doing that. That's what I said it about Lane Kiffin a couple weeks ago. Don't go. Stay where you are. And I honestly think he will. I mean, I don't know the guy. Obviously, I never talked to him. I don't know what he's thinking about it. Just stay.
Yeah.
Keep Ole Miss in the playoff hunt every year. Just do that.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter what all these other jobs are because they're going to pay you to keep you. They're going to give you resources to do what you need to do to win because you've already done it. They know you'll do it. Just stay.
Yeah, I get that part of it, but another part of like example Lane Kiffin, people talking about him for the Florida and the LSU job. You got to like at some point, yeah, Lane Kiffin, they should probably build a statue of him right now at Ole Miss. But and now this is not to say Ole Miss could not go and win a national championship. It depends on what the coach's desire is. Do you want to be in the playoff hunt every year, which I think Lane Kiffin can keep Ole Miss there, and I think over time he's got a chance to win a national championship. Or like the resources at Florida, the recruiting grounds at Florida and in Louisiana at LSU, I feel like he could go and win a national championship at one of those places quicker than he could at Ole Miss. Maybe not. So that's the part of it that, yeah, the money is great. I'm sure Ole Miss will throw the absolute, they probably have an absolute ship full of cash ready for him if he, is trying to negotiate a bigger deal to stay. But that thing always comes into play is like, what is your desire as a head coach? You know, some jobs are
And
more
that's
suited to win national championships than others. Not to say that not every school couldn't win, but um, that's I feel like that's an element of it that has to be talked
it is.
about.
It is.
Yeah,
100%.
and I have to. I mean, I used to think the recruiting part of it, the recruiting grounds, like I used to back when Florida was trying to hire, or when they hired Billy Napier, I was saying the same thing about Lane Kiffin. Go to Florida, you have a better chance of winning the championship there because of recruiting. Well, now with the way the transfer portal is, it doesn't matter. I mean, it definitely matters, but it does not matter to the caliber that it mattered even 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I agree, but another thing is like the transfer portal is about the resource that you have at these schools. Do we think
Hmm.
Ole Miss has more financial resource than LSU or Florida does?
I don't think they have.
Well,
I wouldn't say they have more. I would say they have plenty, though.
I think they have plenty.
well, I mean, if the way I look at it is, you see what Florida and LSU have done the last few years. You see what Lane Kiffin's done. Lane
Hmm.
Kiffin's doing this. Florida and LSU have done this, and maybe even some of that. So, I mean, I think Ole Miss is going to keep increasing as they go,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and they know they have a winner. They know they have a guy there who's going to, I would feel like, would keep doing that, keep getting better and better as it goes. But Griff, I think you're spot on when you said it's about whatever he desires.
Hmm.
I can't, you can't, we can't put any desires in into these coaches. They've
Yeah.
got to know what they want to do, and they're going to do what they want to do, and that's what it comes down to. I mean, we can say till we're blue in the face he's going to stay or he's going to go, but we don't have any freaking idea.
Yeah.
We have no clue, and a lot of it probably depends on if Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss make the playoff and they make a run. He probably ain't
Hmm.
leaving
That's what I
because all
think
these
too.
jobs are going to close up before they're done.
Hmm.
And he's not going to leave if they got a chance to win a natty. Nobody
Hmm.
would.
No.
It's not like when you in the years past you go play in the um, Fiesta Bowl. It's not the championship or in the playoff. You would just leave before it because it's not a national championship.
Hmm.
Now, if you're in the Fiesta Bowl, guess what? You win that one.
You're in the
You're in the
playoffs.
semis, babe,
Yeah.
or you're in the championship game.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just different, and you just gotta, if the search goes on long enough, if the playoff runs long enough, the boys are gonna stay because they want to go
Yeah.
win the natty, you know. And then they got that portal window is the first week and a half or 2 weeks of January.
Hmm.
You got to have a coach there for that, or I would think you would. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's good discussion too. And the last thing on the coaching part before we get to a couple other things, media, stop the false reports. Stop them. I've seen two. The first one was kind of a big one. There was actually a report that Maryland fired the head coach Mike Loxley, and he was not fired.
Yeah,
He was not.
yeah,
But there
I
was a
heard about
report
that.
out there that he got fired.
Hmm.
Garbage. How dare somebody do that? Second, maybe this is what I was looking at last night when I saw these things about Tennessee. It was a notification saying that James Franklin is the new head coach at Virginia Tech, 4 years, 7.8 million, something or another. I'm thinking, oh, that's great. I think that'll be a great fit. And then I'm listening to some podcasts and stuff, and I don't hear they're not saying anything about it. I'm like, why would they not
Mm-mm.
say anything about this? This is a pretty big deal because it's not true. Stop the false reports. I'm getting pissed. Tell us what's true and don't make stuff up. It's
Yeah.
just that easy. Please, for simple minded folk like me, just don't do the false. Do the
Hmm.
real.
Do
Do
the
the
real.
real.
Do the real, do
That
the
should be
true.
the
Be
slogan
real.
of Pass
Be
Over.
real and do the real. That's all I'm asking.
Yep.
All right, we'll move on. Griff, you're the bet guy. You got any bets? Some good bets for us this week, man.
No point pushing this week.
I've got, let's see, one, two, three.
Yeah,
So
if you
I got
start
seven,
pushing
so I'll give you a
points,
couple.
I'm gonna push you off the show.
Hey, dog, I ain't hearing nothing about that this week. After the travesty that you endured last week, I ain't hearing
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
shiznit
whoa,
from
whoa, 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 whoa! No cussing on the show. It's a
it.
family-friendly show here, okay?
Yeah, I didn't cuss. All right, so I like Indiana at Penn State minus 14 and a half. I like Indiana, especially, Penn State without Drew Aller. Ohio State handled Penn State last week. Ohio State, they don't play with their food, but they just very thoroughly, methodically and thoroughly beat teams. Indiana is
Kill you.
trying to murk you. Everybody they play, they're trying to just beat them like they stole something.
Dismember
So I
them.
like Indiana. Yeah, I like Indiana minus 14 and a half, minus 13 and a half.
Oh,
I like,
Call.
you know what? I like Purdue at home plus 29 and a half against Ohio State. Purdue, this whole season, their record is not terrific, but they play teams close. They played Michigan 21-16 last week. Rutgers 27-24, Northwestern 19-0, Illinois 43-27. I like Purdue to hold their own at the plus 29 and a half against Ohio State this week. And I also like Texas A&M minus 6.5 at Missouri. Without Bo Prabula, I think that freshman quarterback in Missouri is pretty good. I think he's serviceable. I like Texas A&M's pass rush to get after him. Texas A&M is the best in the country on third down as we sit right now. And man, Marcel Reed, he's a baller. So give me
he's
give me
pretty
those
good.
three
He's pretty good.
as my three favorites.
D, do you have any? You got any with you? Any bets or anything?
Um, this might be a bit of a stretch. I was looking at the BYU and Texas Tech, not TTU, Texas Tech game earlier. I like the over in that one, 52 and a half. Texas Tech does have a good defense, but I think BYU's offense is good enough to go score on. And Texas Tech's offense obviously scores 100 points a game, it seems like. But I also think that Texas Tech might cover. It's 10 and a half, but I obviously got the 9.5.
Oh,
Texas Tech
of course
to
you would.
cover
My gosh.
that and win it, son.
That
Down
would
to
have
nine
me
and a
ticked.
half, and take Texas Tech to cover that,
Well, so
and
I
then
thought it
Vandy
was
minus six
interesting when
and a
I,
half.
yeah.
Honestly,
Oh,
no
yeah.
shade. Vandy minus 6.5. I don't know how they're only favored by a touchdown. At least teams that have the interim bump have a QB and an O line that's somewhat usable. Auburn
Yeah.
lacks both
That
of those.
helps.
Like Florida, DJ Lagway. UCLA, they got Nico. I mean, he looked terrible at the beginning, but he's at least got he showed at Tennessee, he's got the skills to do it. So
Yeah.
I like Vandy minus 6.5 there.
Well, I thought it was interesting with um, when I saw the Texas Tech BYU minus 10.5 for Texas Tech. I
Mm-hmm.
thought, man, that's kind of crazy. But I remember last week Utah was favored by 10.5 over Cincinnati. I thought, man, there's no way. There's
Yeah,
no
Hmm.
way.
we
And
all
they
said it.
just skull dragged them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
killed
so
them.
it makes me think, well, maybe they're on to something here with these Big 12 big spreads. So that was interesting. I don't think I would put money anywhere close to that one because I don't know which way it would go. Now, here are a couple for me. Okay. Um, Houston -1.5. Now, that's a Friday night, so beware. Spooky Friday nights. Maybe not want to put any money on that, but that one, Houston -1.5. Okay. The next one I've got for you is Maryland +1.5 at Rutgers. Listen, they just
I
have
like that one too.
reports of their coach being fired, but he's actually still there. So they're
Hmm.
probably pissed off. They're ready to play. So I may go Maryland +1.5 there. Jacksonville State -1.5 at UTEP. I think that's going to be just an absolute domination by the Gamecocks. Even though they're not in the cockpit, we understand that.
Or Cocktober or whatever.
Um, well, that's more South
Doesn't
Carolina.
At least Jacksonville
But yeah,
State
it
won
is
a
over.
game and got in Cocktober.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should move it to Jacksonville, Alabama, October. Now,
yeah.
here's the next question. Could South Carolina hit Cockvember?
Mm,
Only when they play Clemson, possibly.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Washington -11.5 over Wisconsin.
Yep, I like that one too.
Yes,
oh,
sir. Yes, sir. Oh,
now
and
granted,
and here. Oh,
Wisconsin
yeah.
played Oregon pretty
That I think the
respectably.
weather
That
was
was
really bad that game. However,
It
they
was
did play them
bad.
close. They did play them close.
Yeah.
But
All right. And then how about one more? Florida State +2.5 at Clemson.
yeah.
Clemson has lost like 6 home games in a row or something like that
against Power 4 teams, yeah.
against Power 4 teams. And Florida State is coming off of an absolute drumming of Wake Forest, and they're going to be ready to kill again. And Clemson is just bad enough on defense to allow them to do whatever they want.
Yep.
Just please put 3
So
guys on Deuce Robinson if you're Clemson.
Yeah.
you would think, oh, here's one, and this is the last one I'll do. What do you do at Notre Dame -26.5 versus
You know,
Navy?
I don't know.
last year the spread was very similar. However, Navy was also undefeated, and I took Navy to cover the spread. Now this was at
That was in Navy last year. It's Notre
yeah,
Dame. It's in South Bend
that's
this
right.
year.
Because it was at home, and I think it was like -24.5 maybe or something like that. Very similar. And Notre Dame beat them by like 40.
Mm-hmm.
I think the same thing's going to
Yeah.
happen again. Now, I'm not going to bet on it, but
I,
I would not be shocked
un,
if it happened again.
unfortunately, I think the same thing, man. I do, and I wish that old Navy would. I hope it doesn't happen, but I could see it happening for sure.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's move along. Okay, actually, real quick, Heisman. I'm gonna give you one name that I like to probably win it, and then y'all give me one name after this. I think Fernando Mendoza wins it.
Yep. That was going to be mine too.
Yeah. I did have
That
one
was
thing.
easy.
I had one thing written down that we were going to talk about last week. Haynes King and Gunnar Stockton, both kind of like this is like dark horse type stuff, just for somebody to kind of
Yeah.
get a seat. I think that if both teams keep winning, both quarterbacks keep playing well, I think that game at the end of the season could possibly be like a seat at the table play-in game, potentially.
Yes. Yes.
Because I mean, look at Haynes King. He's total over 20 touchdowns this year. He's thrown for close to 2,000, rushed for almost 1,000. So I
Hey,
mean, that's
hey, I know they lost to NC State, He had 500 plus yards of offense by himself
That's what I'm saying. It's
versus
like
NC State.
I know they lost, but like he's still playing at a very high level, and so is Gunnar Stockton. So
Yeah,
that's one thing that I want to say is I think that game could be, you know, if both teams keep moving the way they're moving, both quarterbacks keep playing well, I think that could be a potential uh, to put them in like legitimate conversation to be a top five uh, contender.
I, I like that. I like that little dark horse. I do. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. Um, okay, gentlemen, let's get to some games. We've been in here an hour, 5 minutes. Let's get to some games. I'm just going to read through the weekday games. All right, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on them, but I do want to read through them because we love weekday games. On the last episode, I said, "Hey, grow up, watch football every night," and I meant that. I mean it.
Now with YouTube TV,
Grow up.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? In adversity, we find a way.
that's right.
We find a way, and we make it work. So that's all I'm asking of you who want to be experts. Let's find a way to watch ball, right? Every night. Okay. Yesterday, Miami of Ohio versus Ohio. Also, UMass versus Akron. Akron beats UMass. Ohio beats Miami of Ohio. That's a close game. I'm pretty sure Akron beat the piss out of UMass. UMass is not very good.
It was
I believe.
UMass is equal to the last three letters of their name.
yes, might be even worse.
Oh, you clever rascal.
I mean, they're
Wow,
0-9.
that's good. Yeah, they're bad, and I think the first play of the game was a flea flicker, and they fumbled
And they
it and
fall.
turned it over. So
Yeah.
anyway, so that's not good for them. That's
Yeah.
terrible. All right. Now the games tonight. So hey, I want to also bring this up. I need to give a thanks. We all need to thank the MAC, and let me tell you why. Because that is the conference who originally brought us Tuesday and Wednesday night games.
Hmm.
And everybody makes fun of it. Oh, I don't want to watch MAC games in the snow on a Tuesday night. Bull crap. I do.
Not only do I want to
And
watch it, I would love to go to one.
Oh yeah,
let me be there just once. I'm gonna layer up like Ralphie in the Christmas story,
Yep.
but I'm gonna watch football in the snow in Michigan or wherever, Ohio. And that sounds like a lot of fun to me.
yeah.
Once or twice, maybe not every day, but once or twice, right? Now, we have them to thank. So, Mac, thank you. Thank you because you are the ones who originally brought Tuesday and Wednesday night games to us. And now we get them almost, it's 2/3 of the season we get Tuesday and Wednesday night games.
Yep.
We always had Thursday, always had Friday. Now we're getting Tuesday. We're getting every night of the week except Monday. That's NFL and Sunday, NFL,
Without them, we
except for
wouldn't
Labor Day
have that
weekend.
stretch of 50 straight days of football. So they paved the
Exactly.
way.
So, Mac, thank you. Thank you. People want to make fun of you. I'm not. I'll never do it.
We
I
stand with
love
you.
it, man. Maction Tuesday and Wednesday. That's really special, special stuff. And you started some really great. I don't know what y'all are laughing at, but I must have said something without knowing it.
No, you
And
No,
so
didn't.
we'll
no.
just okay. All right.
You didn't. You're good.
Anyway,
Keep going.
today we got more matches. It's going on right now, actually. Northern Illinois versus Toledo. Kent State versus Ball State. Toledo is just hammering Northern Illinois right now. And Ball
Yep, it
State
is
and
a
Kent State, they
hammer
were
spanking
tied last
rear.
time I saw them. Yeah, they were tied 10-10 last time I saw it. So one close game, one game is getting way out of control. Tomorrow night, we're going to go to the Sun Belt. They call it Fun Belt during the week. Georgia Southern versus App State, a classic Southern Conference battle back in the FCS days. Man, you want to talk about a classic battle in the Southern Conference. Now is in the Sun Belt. And App State is pretty good. Georgia Southern has been just up and down. App State's kind of going like this. Georgia Southern's kind of like this. It'll be an interesting game. It'll be fun to reminisce about the old time Southern Conference games in the good old days. The other game is in the American. It's a pretty big one. UTSA at USF after UTSA just beat uh, Tulane, beat the piss out of them, right? Just hammered them. Can UTSA do it again? I don't know if they can,
Give me the over.
but they have got that. Yeah, take the over for sure.
Don't care what it is.
They have got a great shot to really screw up the American Conference. Now,
Yeah, they do.
oh, I'll get to it in a second. Friday night, Friday night, Houston versus UCF. Houston's a 1.5 point favorite. I think that's a no-brainer to take that. I know they had a
Yeah.
bad week last week, but they're going to bounce back. Only Fritz they're going to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Tulane at Memphis, huge game in the American Conference. Tulane can knock Memphis completely out of the picture. Now it's at Memphis. I don't know if they will. Memphis is pretty stout.
Yeah.
The loser of this game is out of the American Conference picture, out of the playoff picture, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You've also
think-
got
yeah.
Northwestern. Yeah, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think Tulane's kind of already out with 2 losses.
Yeah.
But now they could still go and win the American if they went out, I guess. And who knows? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Americans pretty tight race. It's fun one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Then the last FBS game on Friday, Northwestern goes to Southern California to play USC. I think Lincoln Riley was not enjoying to have to play this game on Friday. I think he said something about it in the press conference after the game on Saturday. But I think they're going to roll. They got them at home on Friday. They're going to roll. I mean, now Northwestern is much better than they've been the last few years. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I think USC is going to roll. USC's shown they can run the ball and beat you. When did you ever think we'd say that after Reggie Bush left? I never thought that.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Okay, 2 FCS games on Friday. Delaware State at Morgan State. Delaware State has a chance to win the MEAC, which is one of the HBCU conferences. Deshaun Jackson, the only former NFL player coach that nobody was talking about, has pretty much shown up everybody else. Michael Vick, and whoever else is coaching. Eddie George is at Bowling Green. Deshaun Jackson is doing a great job.
Yeah.
And then the last one, we're going Ivy League, Harvard at Columbia. And let me tell you something, Harvard will dominate. Harvard is good. They are in the driver's seat and in control to make the playoffs for the first time ever in Ivy League history. And they've already beaten Yale. No, sorry, already beaten Dartmouth. Yeah, they got Yale they call it the game. They ought to win out and they ought to make playoffs. So there's your week slate. Here's your week slate. Watch football every night. Be a man. Watch football every night. Okay, we're going to start with some lower level games that we need to talk about. So we'll roll through those, and then we'll get to our FBS games, boys. So don't worry. We're going to start in Division 3. We're going to start in Division 3. Maryville at Berry. Both teams are 7-1. Non-conference game. Berry 7-1. Maryville 7-1. Coach Tony Konchesky and the Vikes have the Maryville Scots, at home.
Mm.
A
little battle of the
Barry's gonna come out.
area.
Barry's gonna come out victorious. Playoffs for Barry. Now we're also gonna go to my man, the ball balled himself, Rich Murphy, Millsaps at Trinity. Trinity is a good football team. They're the second best team in the SAA. Barry beat them. Millsaps is on their way up. They're not there yet, but they're better this year than they've been in a while. I want the Mill Sapiens to win. I just don't know if they'll do it. They got a heck of a test in front of them with the Trinity Tigers over in Texas. Okay, Division 2. Cole Watson, offensive coordinator, Newberry. Carson Newman's coming into town. Head coach Ashley Ingram used to be Navy's O-line coach for a long time. Carson Newman's running the straight triple option, babe. And Newberry is running the Cole Watson offense, babe. And Newberry's only lost one game. Carson Newman's lost two. This is a really big time game in the SAC conference. Now I got to shout out my guys over at TU. Wingate is going to Tusculum. Tusculum, we got to get the ball rolling, boys. Let's get the ball rolling here. Let's put some points on the board. Let's really give Wingate something to freaking worry about. You understand me? Let's get it going there. Tusculum Pioneers, Wingate Bulldogs in Greenville, Tennessee.
Mm.
Now, let's go FCS. Last week, there were like 8 teams in the top 25 who lost just last week. I want you to understand that. 8 teams in the top 25 lost last week, and only one of them was a team who lost to a team that was better than them. North Dakota State, number 1, beat number 24, Youngstown State, or whatever they were. And it was an 8-point game. It was way closer than North Dakota State's played anybody else. So the amount of parity that happened in the FCS last week, unreal. I mean, unprecedented. So the first one we're going to talk about is Princeton at Dartmouth. Dartmouth has a chance to get second place in the Ivy. Will they get an at-large bid out of the Ivy? They only play 10 games? Probably not, but Dartmouth's got to win to give themselves a shot. Princeton, been like this. Princeton, a couple years ago, was going undefeated. They're kind of more like this now. So I'm going Dartmouth. Now, 2 big games in the Dakotas. North Dakota State at North Dakota. And guess what the other one is? South Dakota State at South Dakota. North Dakota State beat the piss out of South Dakota State 2 weeks ago. Last weekend, North Dakota State is ranked. South Dakota's not. South Dakota goes and beats North Dakota in the game last week.
Wow.
Shouldn't have happened. North Dakota is way better of a team overall. South Dakota win and beat them.
Dang.
South Dakota State lost to Indiana State this past Saturday. Indiana State is not very good. They're in the Missouri Valley. They're not very good.
No.
South Dakota State lost. Now, South Dakota State did not have their starting quarterback, Chase Mason. And it seems that that's a big issue because they were beating everybody else pretty good. And then they play without Chase Mason, and it wasn't even close. It was never close. They lost by 2 possessions. I think it was by 12. And the game was never close. It was not ever close. So it'll be interesting because South Dakota comes off a big win. Can they stay level-headed and go beat another good team? Can North Dakota bounce back and give North Dakota State an issue? Now, where North Dakota plays is a tough place to play. I forget what the stadium is called, but it's tough to play in. But North Dakota State, we know who they are, dominators.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to watch the Dakotas over the weekend. Southern Illinois, Youngstown State, another big one. These teams in the Missouri Valley are playing for at-large spots because Missouri Valley is going to get 5 or 6 teams in the freaking playoff. Southern Illinois is very good. Youngstown State's showing they're very good. They almost beat North Dakota State last week. Youngstown State's played everybody close if they hadn't beat them in that conference. Huge one in the SoCon. We're talking about the old SoCon. We're talking about the new SoCon now. Mercer at Western Carolina. Basically, whoever wins this is going to win the conference. Both teams, I think, are undefeated in the SoCon. Mercer's been dominating. Western Carolina got the quarterback who can throw it 1,000 times and score 1,000,000 points. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. Mercer is probably going to win the game. I think they can probably stop Western Carolina better. I don't know if Western Carolina can stop Mercer. It'll be a good one. Southeastern Louisiana at Lamar is in the Southland, a big one in the Southland Conference. Lamar just lost. They dropped a game to Incarnate Word this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken. They lost somebody they shouldn't have lost to. And so now that was one of the team that was ranked and lost. So they lost. Southeastern Louisiana is on a crash course to go win the conference. If they just keep winning, they're going to win it. But this is going to be a tough game for them. Shout out Lorenzo Jackson over there at Lamar. Okay? Texas Southern at Andrew Body and Alabama State. In Montgomery, in the stadium, right off of I-85. You pass right by it on 85. And let me tell you something. Bama State's about to get after it.
Yep.
They're about to get after it. Listen, all Bama State needs, because they beat Prairie View last weekend, they lost to Jackson State by what, a 4 or something?
Close, yeah.
Had chances to win it. I think Jackson State drove down in the last few minutes and scored to win the game. All Bama State needs is for Jackson State to lose one game. Actually, there's a SWAC championship game. So Alabama State makes that, rematch Jackson State wins, they're in the Celebration Bowl. I don't know if that's ever happened before.
No.
I would love to see it. Let's get the freaking Hornets in the Celebration Bowl. Okay? Now, we're into the FBS. We're going to start Group of 5, gentlemen.
Oh.
Missouri State at Liberty. It's a pretty big game in the Conference USA.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I put this in there. There's 2 Conference USA games. Obviously, right now, that conference runs through Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, and Western Kentucky. If one of those teams wins out, they're going to be in the Conference USA championship game, and then obviously the next person will go in and play them. If the American Conference just beats up on each other, one team beats them, then they beat the other team, and they beat them, the Conference USA's got a chance. All right? Just like James Madison in the Sun Belt.
And
Which
San
is on
Diego
here. We'll get to
State
that
in
in
the
a
Mountain
second.
West.
San Diego State in the Mountain West. All right, so the American Conference is basically holding the key to the G5, which they should be. They got the most teams who are in contention.
Yeah.
But if one team doesn't come out and win them all, it's going to be tough. Now, I'll tell you this, and I'll get to the games here in a second. North Texas has a very, very easy schedule left. So South Florida plays a couple tough games. Memphis plays a couple tough games. Tulane does too. But North Texas, Navy does too. North Texas, easy schedule. They should win out and get that Group of 5 spot. They got to win the American Championship game, but they should get it. If not, Kennesaw State, James Madison, Jacksonville State, just lingering around. Who's going to give it up so we can ride that into the playoffs? Well, we'll see. Missouri State at Liberty. Shut me up. One of y'all talk about it.
I picked Liberty. Liberty lost 4 games in a row or 3 games in a row. I think it was 4 actually. So they
4,
won
yes.
1, lost 4 in a row, and now they're on a 3-game win streak. I don't see that ending
Yeah.
at home against Missouri State. Now Missouri State's done way better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
I think Liberty's finding their groove right now.
Yeah, I got
Yes.
Liberty. I got Liberty as well. I agree, D. They seem to have figured some things out as of late. Missouri State is a pretty gritty team. I just at home I like Liberty to take care of business.
Yeah. At Liberty. They're hot right now. And especially at home. They have a very good student section. Their stadium gets pretty rowdy. My redshirt freshman year, we played them on my birthday. The student section sang me happy birthday while I was on the sideline. So
Wow.
just to give you a little bit of an insight on how they freaking roll over there.
Nice.
Louisiana Tech at Delaware. Wow, pretty nice of those guys. Louisiana Tech versus Delaware. And Delaware, their quarterback's name is Minakuchi. Go ahead.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, I
week
didn't
after
think- I
week.
didn't- I heard that one.
Forgetting, and I need the reminder.
Yeah, I know. You're welcome.
So good of you.
I got-
Who y'all
picked
got?
Louisiana-
Who you got?
I picked Louisiana Tech.
La Tech, yes.
I picked Delaware at home. Give me Delaware.
Delaware at home. It's gonna be a little chilly. Hey, it's gonna be chilly up there,
Mm.
and Louisiana's probably not quite that chilly yet. That's you know what? The weather might play a little factor in that. I
Yeah,
also
I
picked
know.
Louisiana Tech. I also picked La Tech, but I think it's going to be a close game. Whether
I do
whoever
too.
wins, it's going to be a close game. All these games have been close, basically, except for a couple
Yeah.
in the Conference
After
USA.
Louisiana Tech, it utterly embarrassed me when I picked them to beat Kennesaw. I will not pick them again.
Traitor.
You deserved it, you traitor.
I did deserve it, and it wasn't
Treasonous.
even that it was close. It was an embarrassment. I was embarrassed
Oh,
walking into work the next day,
that
even though
game.
nobody knew what happened. I was embarrassed.
What game was it?
As you should.
That game was like Utah beating Colorado in the first
Yeah.
half. It was like
Yeah,
they couldn't stop scoring. Every time you turn around,
yeah.
touchdown for Kennesaw.
Yep. It absolutely
Every
was.
time.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. All right, we're going Mountain West. Y'all
Mm.
mentioned them earlier. One of y'all did. San Diego State, Hawaii. Now Hawaii has been a pretty decent ball team this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beat Stanford in week 0. I mean, they've done some good things.
Sam
Can they
Houston.
do enough to beat San Diego State? Can they do enough to beat San Diego State? I don't know that I picked San Diego State. I don't think they can.
I did too.
Yeah, I
I
did
don't.
too.
I mean, they definitely done better this year than they have in previous years, but I like San Diego State. You know, San Diego State and Ohio State, and I may have said this last week, but they're the only two teams I think that have had multiple shutouts this year.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you did say that. Yes, that's a good stat.
Yeah.
Crazy to
Yeah.
think about.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
I got San Diego State as well. Rolling, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely rolling.
Yeah.
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 Looking for that group of
I
five
think they
spot.
play.
I mean, a team that I haven't really thought of, but when I was, when I was looking at it, going through these games and writing them down, I was like, good Lord, 7-1, undefeated in the conference. You're at Hawaii. You have Boise State at home.
Hey, and Boise
San
State
Jose
just
State at
got
home.
beat by Fresno
Yeah,
State
yeah, they got railroaded
Yeah.
by Fresno State
at home too.
somehow.
That was crazy.
They do have to go to New
I
Mexico. New
believe.
Mexico, you know, not a bad ball team, but San Diego State, man, they got a
Mhm.
chance to throw a wrench in this group of 5 deal.
Yeah.
They have certainly got a shot. Boise State's quarterback has got hurt. I don't know if he's going to be hurt for a while, but he got hurt in that last game they lost in, I believe.
Hmm.
So that if that's the case, not that I wanted to be hurt, but if that's the case, then that gives San Diego State, unfortunately, a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
All right, American Conference, we got 3. We already talked about one of them, Tulane at Memphis. I don't know. It's in Memphis. I don't know if Tulane's gonna be able to stop Memphis. I think they're gonna give them a good game. I just think Memphis is probably too high powered.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a playoff game, an elimination game on a Friday night. Whoever loses is out
Yeah.
of the AAC Conference Championship picture and the playoff picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. I picked Memphis to win this one. Just I was watching that Tulane UTSA game last week, and I could not believe my eyes. It was kind of like that Colorado Utah game. I mean, UTSA, at least after the first quarter. The first quarter was close. After that, I mean, it got
It's
out of
bad.
hand very quickly. So
Yeah.
give me Memphis at home to win this. I think it's going to be close. I think Tulane's still a good team, but give me
Yeah.
Memphis in a close one.
Yeah, I'm taking Memphis as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be close, but Memphis wins. Navy at Notre Dame. We talked about it a little bit already. Do you think Navy can cover plus 26.5? Can they keep it under a 4-possession game?
Based off last year, no. Especially with it being at Notre Dame. And Notre Dame is really
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to prove themselves
Mhm.
still.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no shot that Notre Dame doesn't cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, I think that Notre Dame is gonna. I think they'll cover it. I probably wouldn't bet on it just because those spreads like that are sometimes
Tough.
tough.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think Notre Dame does a good job. They do a good job pretty much every year of guarding the triple option. So I just think Notre Dame's gonna be able to absolutely put up some points. I don't see Navy scoring with them. So
Yeah, I agree. I I think they'll probably get after them pretty good. Like you said, they are trying to prove themselves. It's an elimination. Every game's an elimination game for Notre Dame, so they're going to
Mm-hmm.
be on it. Last one in the American, UTSA USF. This is on Thursday night. Um, UTSA is going to play physical. They're going to play tough. What's their coach's last name? Trailer, Jeff
yeah, Jeff
Trailer.
Traylor.
I like that dude. He's kind of hard nosed,
Hmm.
kind of old school. They got a great running game. Um, I think they keep it somewhat close, at least early on. But
Yeah,
I think USF's just got too much. They end up just pulling away.
yeah, I agree. I got South Florida. I like the over. Like I said earlier, no matter what it is, I
Yeah,
think it's at
yeah,
67.5, or at least when I looked at it earlier. So
Yeah.
I like it. I don't think South Florida's great at stopping teams, um, but they're also good at scoring points. So give me USF
yeah.
and the over.
Yeah. I also like USF. Um, like y'all said, they score a ton of points. And I think UTSA might keep it a little bit closer than the spread. I think it's at minus 13.5. They might keep it
Hmm.
closer than 2 touchdowns, um, but I think USF they're gonna take this one.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Last one in Group of Five, Sun Belt, JMU at Marshall. JMU is just winning, 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 waiting for those American League team or American Conference
Hmm.
teams to just beat each other up, and they just slide right into that Group of Five spot. Now they got to win out and win the championship game, but I mean they look pretty good. They're beating
Yeah.
people pretty handily. I
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
JMU Marshall's been a decent team in the Sun Belt, and it's on the road in West Virginia. I think JMU still gets after pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
I do
And the dude
too.
with the face paint on from JMU. Have y'all seen him?
I
I
don't
don't think
think
so.
so.
Dude, he paints his face almost completely white with like these black lines in it. It's a little freaky looking.
Tiger.
Maybe.
I like the over in this game as well. I mean, JMU's defense is pretty good, but Marshall can score points, and JMU can score points. I think Marshall gives up a lot. So at 55.5, you're looking at, what is that, 8 touchdowns? I like that. I like it to be a pretty high scoring game.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Hmm.
All right, we're with the big boys now. Got one ACC game. We've got Wake Forest at Virginia. Wake Forest is looking to bounce back after getting absolutely walloped uh, by Florida State. Now they got to go to Virginia. Hey, job well done. You're going to play Virginia now in Charlottesville.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, what do y'all think about that one?
I think they got Virginia minus 6.5 right now. Gosh, take it.
Yeah.
You saying hammer that?
Yeah, I mean Wake Forest looked good against SMU. Well, I mean, I guess technically you could say they did look good. They did enough to win the game and hold SMU, which I thought was completely shocking. And then SMU turns around and beats Miami anyway. But that was at home, and
Hmm.
so I think they're going to struggle more on the road at Virginia. I like the minus 7.5 for Virginia.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
got Virginia covering Wake Forest. A real disappointment last week after the big win the week before. You could easily tell that Wake Forest SMU game, one team was playing like it was their Super Bowl, and one team was playing like their Super Bowl was the week after. Um, and it showed because Wake Forest laid an egg the next week. SMU went and beat Miami. So give me Virginia. I like to cover. 6.5 is what I have written down. But if it's at 7.5, that I like that too. So
I've got it 6.5.
Yeah, yeah. I think. I just think Virginia's got too much. Now Virginia's been screwing around with some teams lately.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me a little nervous. Um, but I just think they're going to be better. I mean, I think it's going to be going to outman them, outmatch them, whatever you want to call it. I think they're going to beat them.
Hmm.
We're going to move to the Big Ten. A very intriguing matchup. Oregon at Iowa. Basically, two different types of play. I think. Um,
Yeah.
Oregon's going into Iowa, and the weather's supposed to be terrible. Apparently, it's just supposed to be absolutely awful.
I think the high is in like the low
Allegedly.
40s, and it's like a 90 to 100% chance of rain on Saturday. So
Those
yeah.
those are not fun to play in, man. Those are not fun to play in. Now, it doesn't matter because you got to play in it anyway. But it
Hmm.
just, excuse me, it's just not ideal. Can Oregon can they get that explosive offense going? Can they do what they need to do? Can Iowa stop them and keep it close like they did with Indiana? I think if they can keep it close with Indiana, Oregon's got to be careful
Yeah.
because I think Iowa's offense is getting close enough to where they need to be to where if they can keep it close and grind down on them a little bit, they can go and win the game. And Iowa, like we said, can play their way into the playoff here.
Hmm.
Yeah. I picked Oregon to win the game based on their how explosive their offense is. But man, I think Iowa has a chance to do it, really, because the last time Oregon played against one of the top tier defenses, which was Indiana, they basically scored half the points that they average over the course of the season.
And are you talking about 13 or 20?
Well, I guess
Because
I guess
they got the pick six, so offensively they scored
it was even less
13.
than half.
So yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yep.
So Iowa has a chance if their defense can really bear down. I didn't know about the weather. That could be huge for Iowa.
Hmm.
I mean, it could be
Because you
huge.
see what it did when they played Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I picked Iowa because mainly, well, I was already leaning towards Iowa without knowing about the weather, but with the weather, this plays into Iowa's hand very well.
Mm-hmm.
I know
yeah,
Oregon's rush offense is, I think they're maybe number one in the country in explosive runs, or close. They're in the top 10, and I think Iowa's in the top 10 as far as they've only allowed one explosive run the entire year.
yes,
So I
yes,
like
that's right.
Iowa to hold serve on their end at home in this terrible weather conditions that they got. So give me Iowa to yeah, hey, give themselves a chance at being that third Big Ten team to get in.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That'd be
Yeah, I
wild.
mean they have just as good a chance as Oregon and USC. I mean they have just
Hmm.
it's theirs to lose, honestly. I mean maybe not, but it's if they win out, they've got it.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. So yeah, I mean I picked Oregon too because I just don't know if Iowa offensively can do it. I
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a kind of a barn burner. It's going to be a knockdown drag out. And
Yeah.
that's the kind of game Iowa wants. And so
Hmm.
that'd be interesting to see. Can Iowa get that game and then take advantage of it? You know.
Yeah.
All right, Big 12 got one game. BYU at Texas Tech. Already talked about some Texas Tech's favored by 10.5. I picked BYU. I just think it's going to be hard to beat BYU. The quarterback wears 47, name's Bear, and he's a freshman. Um, you got if you're going to beat them, you got to put them down, man. You got to put them down. Can Texas Tech do it? I don't know. So that's what I'm going BYU.
I'm going Texas Tech. With the freshman quarterback comes very rarely does a freshman quarterback play consistently well the whole year. I think on the
Mm-hmm.
road at Texas Tech's going to be, his first little hiccup of the year.
Hmm.
Now, granted, I think it'll be. I still like Texas Tech to cover 10 points, and I think Juke agrees with me on that one.
Yeah, you heard him growl.
Yeah. But I think BYU is going to hang in there pretty good, and then Texas Tech's going to pull away just a little bit late. I don't think it's going to be like a Utah Cincinnati type game.
Or a Texas Tech Utah type game.
Also true.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got Texas Tech. I do like BYU to cover the 10.5. I just think both of these teams are kind of similar. They both run the ball well. They both defend the run pretty well. So I kind of look for this game to. I look for this game to be a lot of ground game. So I look for it to be a fairly quick game as far as time, time wise. But I do like BYU to cover the 10.5. I do like Texas Tech, however, to win the game. And honestly, it's really mainly because they're at home. I'll give Texas Tech the nod.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'll tell you what kind of makes me nervous is that they made it a 10.5 point favorite for Texas
Hmm.
Tech, and they did that with Utah over Cincinnati. So, you
Yeah.
know, should you just go Texas Tech and trust Vegas? I don't know, but I just feel good about BYU. So,
Hmm.
all right, listen, we've got 4 SEC games. We're Southeastern boys, right? We love the SEC. Now, am I going to say it? We're going to be biased towards it? I'm going to try to not be, but we love the SEC. So we're going to start with Auburn at Vandy. 6.5. Vandy's favored in Nashville. What are the odds, boys? What are the odds?
Your defense better play
Well,
great.
well, I mean, it is. Y'all mentioned it. The interim coach, whatever you called it. Will they
Yeah.
step up? Will the boys step up to play?
I mean, I hope so, but like I said earlier, teams that have done that this year have had a quarterback and somewhat of an O line that can show some kind of play where they can win the game.
Hmm.
Auburn
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't really have that. I mean, after Ashton Daniels came in against Arkansas and Auburn ended up winning, I heard some people talking about we finally got a new quarterback and he went out and won the game.
Oh,
Dog.
No.
That's because the
No.
defense had 4 turnovers and got you inside the 40 4 times in a row, and you did what? Kick 4 field goals or 3 field goals or whatever it was. Give
That
me a
is
break.
correct.
It
Well,
was
one of them was a
3.
pick six.
It was
So
3, yeah, because it was a pick 6. So
points are
enough of that.
points, D.
yeah.
It wasn't Ashton Daniels that had the pick 6.
They're pushing points, guys. That's all they're doing, is pushing points.
Pushing points away. No, we don't want them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got Vanderbilt. I saw a stat the other day that in the Arkansas and Kentucky game, Auburn had 21 drives in those 2 games, and they scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was the first drive of the Arkansas game. So they went 20 straight drives without a touchdown. And that's with in the Kentucky game and in the Arkansas game, you had 4 turnovers that put you on the other team's side of the field. I
Right.
can't, I think that Auburn's offense may come out and just throw whatever at the wall and see what sticks and be more aggressive. And I think that they will do that because there's really not much to lose at this point. Um, do I think it's going to be enough? I do not. I think the defense is going to be playing with their hair on fire. As if they, I mean, I know they already do, but with DJ Durkin, the guy that they rally around every week, being now the interim head coach, I, while Hugh Freeze was still there, I was worried the defense may. I'm not going to say like kind of stop playing hard, but at what point does a team do they just get so worn down from every game, getting stop after stop after stop, and having to go right back out? But I look for
Mm-hmm.
him, now with DJ Durkin at the head at the helm. I look for him to go out there and play with their hair on fire. I'll tell you the matchup that I'm looking so forward to is Xavier Atkins spying Diego Pavia.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot wait to watch it, and it's gonna be incredible to watch. Diego Pavia can make stuff happen. I watched Xavier Atkins on Taylor Green. He stayed on like white on rice the entire game against Arkansas.
Yeah.
I am really, really, really looking forward to watching that. So I get Vanderbilt, but I think it'll be closer than what people think.
Probably. I mean, probably because Auburn will be able to hold them some, but will Auburn be able to score? That's the question.
Yep.
Will they be able to score?
The age-old question.
And so, yep, that's it. All right, Georgia and Mississippi State. Here's the question. How far does Georgia go down, and then how long does it take them to come back to win?
Well, they're going to come back and win in the fourth quarter because that's when Mississippi State likes to give leads up.
Not last
Well, it's
week.
also when Georgia likes to come back and win. Georgia doesn't like to lead early in the game. They like to be trailing and then come back and win late, and then usually get a very, very iffy call from the refs that could go one way or the other that goes their way every time, and then win.
Yeah.
They've got a formula. It's not the same as everybody else's, but they've got a formula.
Jake, is there a certain call in that last game that you're referencing?
Nah, just something. Just thought about it. Yeah, it's the one where the receiver is diving back to catch the ball, and they called it incomplete on the field, and then they go back and review it, and to me, it looks like it bounces off the forearms.
They went back and
Now,
reviewed it, and
is
Kirby
it,
Smart was clapping.
or was he
I'm just
calling
joking.
timeout? Yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah. No.
I think it was incomplete. I think it hit the ground.
Mm-mm.
I just
I
have to
like the
disagree.
Georgia
I just
cams.
disagree.
I saw a video on Twitter the other day that was a really good angle, and if I can go back and find it, I'll send it to y'all. It is extremely close. It's extremely close. I'll say this. I don't have enough evidence to dispute it being called incomplete or complete. So that's my thing. Is they
And
called it incomplete?
that's why they
So
upheld it, and that's the right call. But
yeah,
I sure thought it hit off forearms, and because once he hit off forearms, it was just lodged into his chest. I mean, it didn't move at all,
yeah.
you know. Or once it
Um,
was his forearms to the ground, whatever.
yeah. I got Georgia. I like Mississippi State to cover the 8.5, though. I think it's going to be, like you said, Jake, a game where Mississippi State comes out and scores some points, and Georgia has to work back, and it's just kind of back and forth after that. And Georgia inevitably comes back and wins the game. But with it being at Mississippi State, I like Mississippi State to cover the 8.5, and I like Georgia to win.
Yeah.
Cowbells, man.
Man, good for you.
Cowbells gonna be rolling.
Good for
Dang.
you. I wanted to. I
that'd
know
be awesome.
Georgia. Georgia going
Wait,
Georgia.
what are y'all saying?
Oh, are you picking Mississippi State?
No, I'm saying there will be cowbells, a lot of cowbells. I'm picking Georgia, but I'm just saying the
I thought you
cowbells
were
are gonna be
saying,
loud.
I thought that was your
I
way
thought
of saying you were picking Mississippi State.
No, I'm not picking them. I'm picking Georgia, but I'm just saying cowbells are gonna be, as Duke likes the cowbells, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Need
gonna be
more
rocking
cowbell.
and rolling. Yeah,
Needs
you
Yeah.
need more. All right, so we're gonna go to Texas A&M at Missouri. Texas A&M at Missouri. Missouri Bo Pribula's out, so they got to back up. I think it's Zollers is his name, or Zollers or something. Um, Missouri's got a good run game. How can this other quarterback do in the pass game? Keep it balanced. I don't think near enough. And Texas A&M's been dominant, even though it's on the road for them. I think Texas A&M probably wins pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
This is going to be a game. I like Texas A&M to just blister Missouri.
Yeah,
They did it last
might,
year. I mean,
might
you
get
think
out of
about that.
hand.
You remember that game last year when Missouri went to Texas A&M, and Missouri was like they were like a 6.5 point favorite, and
Right.
Texas A&M out the gate just absolutely handled them. So I think the
Yes.
same thing's going to happen this year, especially with Bo Pribula out. Texas A&M minus 6.5 lock of the century.
Whoa,
Yeah.
wow.
I got A&M as well.
Which
Marcel
means that
Reed.
Missouri's going to win by 31. So
Yep.
Dang, that would be something. Now, if that happens, that would be something. And then the 1, 2, 3 conversation would not even matter because Texas A&M will be gone out of
the
that
top
part.
25.
Out of the Power Four.
Well,
Demoted FCS.
wow. Yeah, see you. All right, last one. LSU at Bama. LSU is just got rid of O'Brien Kelly a couple weeks ago, and apparently nobody liked him. So LSU is probably going to be playing a little bit harder for the coach, the interim guy they have now.
Yeah.
Playing going to Tuscaloosa. Alabama's playing to get the SEC championship and make the playoffs. So Alabama's trying to go make a run.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alabama's got LSU. They also have Oklahoma and Auburn left,
Yeah.
and some FCS team left. So do you think LSU is going to be able to do enough to go beat Alabama in T-Town?
No.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Resounding no's. Wow.
I don't think
I
so.
think the thought of LSU doing it is great to think about. It would be awesome. Like, man, what if they really did go in there and give them a scare, possibly win it? I don't think it's going to happen. Now, the way LSU can win the game is if they have got to make Alabama run the ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can talk
Oh, yeah.
about
Yeah,
you
for
can talk
sure.
about defensive strategy. Do they need to heat Ty Simpson up early? Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. Get him under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can force some turnovers.
Yeah. LSU's
and-
pass defense is really good.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. And
That's
if
about
they-
the only thing
if
Alabama's
they
good.
if they can run a defense where it looks very similar each time, but you can bring multiple things out of it, that's
Mhm.
gonna be the way they're gonna do it.
And Blake
Because-
Baker does a great job of that. And I think Whit Weeks might be back this week, so that'll be a big help.
I heard he's
as well.
out.
Oh, is he out? Okay, I heard he
What I
may
heard.
be coming
Ooh.
back. Okay.
Conflicting reports. Conflicting reports.
I'm not seeing it
Listen,
right here. So maybe
I
not.
talked to Brian Kelly the other day. He was saying he was playing.
Well, he
so-
never
Yeah, I
went
know
to
you
the
did.
facility, so
Listen. LSU's defense is good.
Mhm.
Alabama's pass offense is really good. Their three receivers, Bernard, Williams, and Horton, are all playing very well.
Mhm.
Ty Simpson, we know, has been playing like a dog ever since week one. Well, he even didn't play terrible in week one. Just a lot of stuff around him was going bad.
Mhm.
Can Alabama's offensive line stay steady like they've been and hold out the Tigers of LSU? Can Alabama have any kind of run game? Because listen, if they can, they'll win the game. It's a done deal. It ends right there.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
If they can run the ball, game's over. If they can't, it doesn't mean they're going to lose because their pass game's great and their defense has been getting better.
Mhm.
And now here's the thing: Alabama needs to force a turnover or two, and Nussmeier has done it.
He can do it.
Mhm.
They should be able to force a few turnovers, or at least one, maybe two. You know, if you get more than that, that's just a heck of a day. But I think Alabama's got to establish a run game, and like I said, if they can do that, the game is over. It is over with. Don't turn the ball over, which, knock on wood, they haven't a whole lot. They have a little bit, but not much. So that's why I think Alabama's going to win,
Mhm. I agree.
especially if they start getting a run game going.
Whit Weeks is questionable, and then Zach Weeks is doubtful. So
Zach.
Are they bros?
I thought his
pretty
brother
sure.
name was Wes.
oh, that's right. Oh, well, I don't know.
Maybe his first name is Zach. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we've made it through the show. Any
Zach
other
is the
final
youngest
comments to? Okay, Zach.
Yeah.
Any final comments to send us off this evening?
YouTube TV needs to figure it out.
Yeah. YouTube TV stopped, and then I saw something. Maybe it was X, maybe it was something else. It was something where YouTube TV or ESPN or somebody was saying, you know, it's like some, like they do every time, some petition, you know, you sign this, show how much support we have for this so we can get this back for you. And
Yeah.
somebody quote tweeted it and said, stop asking us to do stuff.
Yeah.
They need to go fix it. They need
Yeah.
to go fix it.
We don't
You
need a
know?
petition to know that 90% of the YouTube TV subscribers probably want to watch ESPN.
I would
At
imagine
least
so.
a little bit.
In
You
some
don't need a
capacity.
petition to tell you that.
No, you don't. So just figure out whatever it is to figure out so we can watch in multi-view because the ESPN multi-view maybe don't have the right thing. It just doesn't do. Okay. I need the YouTube TV multi-view. Stop the BSing. Grow up and let us watch football every night. That's all I'm asking.
Stop the
Okay.
shenanigans.
No more shenanigans. We're straight business. No shenanigans. Okay. If you've made it for an hour and 56 minutes, thank you so much. Gosh, we appreciate you so much. This was a lot of fun. It's a great show. We had a lot of great debates, a lot of great analysis from the boys there. We appreciate you sticking around. I ask, if you're sticking around this long, you ought to subscribe. Why wouldn't you? You've been here long enough. Just go subscribe. It's right there in front of you. Just scroll down and click the button, whatever it is. If you're on YouTube, scroll down, subscribe, hit the button. If you're on Spotify, rate us 5 stars. If you stay in this long, rate us something, okay? And if you got something that you want to add to our discussions, comment it. We'd love to talk it through and hear what you got to say. This is an interactive show, okay? So thank you for being here. We have thoroughly enjoyed this, and we still will keep enjoying it. Yes, Griff,
Do the polls on Spotify.
the poll is there. Immunity.
I
Go answer the poll that is posted on each episode. I I try to make it a little different every time, kind of relevant to what we talk about in each episode. And we do get a few votes, not many. I'd love to see way more. I'd love to see way more votes, and it's more fun that way. Um, Go have a great weekend and watch a lot of football. Watch football tomorrow night, which is probably tonight. You'll probably get it on Thursday. Watch football tonight. Watch it Friday night, and guess what? Watch it Saturday night, and all day Saturday because it's going to start at 12 Eastern, 11 Central. And if you're over in Mountain and uh, Pacific, 10 and 9 a.m. That's a heck of a day. Football starts at 9 a.m.
Hmm.
That's
shoot ya.
pretty good. Um, y'all good? Anything else y'all got? G&D?
Good.
Ready to see this thing shake out?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. We're signing off. Thanks so much for being here. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.